Hey, Diorama fans, 6-inch Star Wars Black Series collectors, diorama builders, those that like to play with their toys. I opened up a bunch of guys. Today, I had Commander Apo, multiple, the recent Target exclusive, and GameStop just sent me these guys, just the regular Phase 2 clone from the newest release. Opened them up and had to do a unit picture, and we can discuss some of the differences in all the clones that have come out over the years. So a little fly through this diorama, see everybody's faces. These guys got some awesome new articulation. Can actually take a knee. That looks really cool. Real happy with that. They're hanging out with their ARC troopers. This is Echo 5s with the tattoo on his face. And the big piece on Baldy there, that is Jesse. The fans all complaining about that helmet. It's got a big fin. But are you really a Star Wars fan if you're not complaining all the time? So, oh yeah, other little details include, there's a 3D printed long blaster for the droids. You know, kind of a war booty captured weaponry on display from the Triumphant there. And that is a Vale's Toys ARF Trooper helmet. I took the pliers and ripped that off just to give it a little more flavor. Yeah, so these guys can take a knee. They got so much better articulation. You can move the knee pad around the suit to help hide that joint, especially when you're taking a static picture. And they're real fun, real cool, real happy with that. Okay, for those that have been keeping track, collecting right along as the age has grown and matured and evolved, this is the very first version of the clone body. This is a Phase 2 from the Amazon 4-pack Trooper Evolution. Came out many years ago, many moons ago. And yes, he's the one we'll pick on first. They have relatively limited articulation. You know, they can't shoulder their weapon. They definitely can't take a knee. He's got the big old feet. Helps. He's heavy too. He's actually the heaviest one. He's got a heft to him. Big and chunky. I still love those guys though. I think they look more like the proportions that we saw in Revenge of the Sith live action film. And he's just a really fun figure. He's one of my favorite ones they've released. I bought this guy a bunch of times for an army build. He's got the big shoulder pads like he's a football player. And his helmet is just so detailed. Not removable, and relatively limited neck articulation. But I do like that figure a lot. He's cool. So he's the first version released. And this guy is probably the one with the most problems. This was the second release. That's Ahsoka's unit with the orange face paint. And he's got just really small shoulder pads. Kind of a lame all around, man. Like, he's got improved articulation, especially from the first guy. But that's about it. You know, he's got the big helmet that almost looks like the animated proportions more. I haven't been too happy with those. I'm glad they've already upgraded to do something else. And finally, these guys just came out. Had a couple of molds now. They've done the official release and the Target Apo, Commander Apo in that mold. That is the Phase 2 in the clone version, number 3. Just opened those guys up today. Got a chance to play with them at the kitchen table, pose them, mess around a little bit. I do like as I already said, the knee pads. You can move them around. I like how he's got thick thighs, save lives. He's got some kind of proportion in between the two. Their first versions. Mine all have like a smushed pug face and the squinty eyes. Not my favorite. Not my favorite at all. In fact, I've got all of these guys in this scene with their heads turned around because their chin's sticking out underneath their helmet. Oh, like that's screen accurate. No, that's some baloney. So there's always a pro and con to any of the molds. You know, you're always like looking for who does it best. Probably somewhere in between 1 and 3. So maybe you can customize them or set up your scenes, your shelves, to highlight the good and take away from the bad. But let me cut and I'll show you that helmet. Okay, so this is how he looks without his helmet on. Pretty good looking face. He's got like a wash for his 5 o'clock shadow, his beard. I think he looks less wide-eyed than the Apo clone face. And here are the helmets. This is his what he comes with, but it's real smushed. This is the Apo helmet. It's got a way more pronounced nose. I think better paint job too, better quality control. This one, he comes in a cardboard box, so you can't tell what you're getting. And one of my guys had a real wonky shoulder, which I will say that the clone version 3, their armor is kind of like the Stormtrooper, the modern body for the Stormtrooper, where the armor is riding on them instead of like sculpted. But then you can also have problems with the shoulder pads where they're like, I took the hairdryer to it, it still was wonk. I took a little tacky and put it down so it wasn't just flipping out. Maybe I could have done an example of that, but yeah, he's looks a little more squared away without the shoulder pad flying around there. But overall, I love the clones. I love troopers in Star Wars. You know, always happy to collect more of them in all its various eras. But it was just a fun little comparison today about what you can find on shelves now and what's from the Black Series legacy.